Awesome. So I know I have hijacked your Sunday morning, and I have asked you all to be here just to wake you up a little and just to, ask you a little interaction. Maybe I can say, like, all of you are here because you know me. Somehow you have heard of me, or somehow you have seen me either in the community or on LinkedIn, or let's say in your email, in my newsletters, anywhere, right? You have seen me, you have interacted with me. That's why you are here. So just with a quick show of emojis, can you just let me know from where do you know me? If you know me from LinkedIn, just react with a heart. If you know me from other people have referred me to you, just react with a wow emoji, or newsletters or community or whatever it is, just a quick show off. So a lot of people know me from LinkedIn, I think, because I'm always on LinkedIn. It makes sense. um, yeah, awesome. Thanks, guys. Just to ask you another question before we really get into the good stuff. I'm just, if you are on your laptop screen, you can quickly scan this QR. If not, I'm sharing this link in the chat box. Just you can open it, and there will be a question on your screen. So you just need to put one word, whatever that comes to your mind when you think of this question. The question is, what do you think of when you think of Nikita? So you have a perception of me in your head, right? It can be anything. So just put in one word. You can put multiple answers. um, just let me know, um, what do you think. We can see people typing newsletters, freelancing, resilient, determinant. Nice guys. Awesome. It's like anything else. Maybe fun loving, it's a good word. um, Trust me, it's not me trying to get compliments from you guys. We have this relevance in the uh, presentation for sure. It's not just for my ego farming, but yeah. Awesome. um, right, awesome. I can see someone is still typing. Passionate, strong, goal oriented, ideas generator. Oh my god. Angry lady. These are definitely my friends who have seen the real side of me, but yeah, it's okay. um LinkedIn Pro is like too much, but fine. Awesome. I think we are good to go. I'll just take a screenshot here and put it in the uh, presentation, so we can just refer back to it. If anybody else was typing, I'm sorry, I just took a screenshot. Awesome. Let me just quickly check. Yes, awesome. Um, Great. So, a lot of you, like the most number of votes that we have gotten is for the newsletter girl. People have called me, like, they think of freelancing when they think of me. They think fun loving, strong headed. Another word for newsletters, ideas generator is new to me. Goal oriented, strong, and things like that, right? Now, if you really think about it, these are your words and these are not mine words. I have not asked you to put this, except my friends. I did ask them to put a couple of words, but I have not asked you, that I've not told you that I'm fun loving. I have not explicitly mentioned. I've mentioned freelancing. I've mentioned newsletters. But again, that is your perception of me. So basically, to sum it up, there are two kinds of image that a person has. There's a perception of how people see you, and there's a self description how you describe yourself. Since I have described myself as someone who writes a lot of newsletters, even my LinkedIn headline says I have a thing for newsletters. So that is why newsletters is there. But everything else, every other adjective is because of my style of communication or my style of newsletters or my style of post, how I am interacting with you in these live sessions and things like that. So it's just a perception that you have. Different people have different perceptions, as we have seen here. So personal branding is nothing but a combination of how people perceive you and how you self describe yourself. The Because you have to describe yourself, at least some part of it, for people to have a perception about you, right? So this is just basically the gist of it. When I was preparing for this session, I went and I looked at the definition of personal branding, like what it is. According to Harvard Business Review, personal branding is the intentional strategic practice of defining and expressing your value. It's the amalgamation of associations, beliefs, feelings, attitudes, and expectations that people collectively hold about you. It's a very elaborate definition with a lot of words that kind of have the same meaning, similar meaning. It's just, too complicated, right? I even went ahead and looked at the definition of what is belief and what is attitude, because different people will have different opinion about definitions of these words. Attitude's definition, according to Google, is a settled way of thinking or feeling about something. Belief is the trust or faith or confidence in something or in someone or something. Again, these two are, if you zoom out and see, these two are pretty much the same thing. So why do you have to overcomplicate things and look at the definition and just confuse yourself? We're here to like super simplify the stuff so you know how it is, what it is, and basically get started with it, right? I'm not sure how many of you know this person. His name is Chris Do. A couple of months ago, when I went on YouTube and I was searching for personal brand, his videos came up. He defined personal branding in a very simple term, uh, basically, which like really helped me understand personal branding, right? I Before that, I heard a lot about it. Everybody was doing it and I was not sure what it is. But after looking at his definition and his way of presenting it, it made a lot of sense to me. So I just wanted to share that with you. It's how people feel about you, right? So you feel, okay, Nikita is fun loving, you feel Nikita is determinant or goals oriented and things like that. So that is uh, how you feel about me, and that is a summary basically of my personal brand online, right? It involves who you are, your values, life philosophy, your business is very important. All of us are here for clients or to make money or to for visibility, for better opportunities and things like that. So it all ties to our freelancing as a business or whatever. So yeah, so it's the authentic image you present to the world. Authentic, I have underlined authentic because it is very important. If I just talk about, okay, I've done this, I have done that, I have achieved this, I have achieved that, the relatability factor that you guys feel with me would not be there. So I try to share my struggles, my lessons, my experiences, the authentic self, how it is happening. Like I recently shared a post, August was not my best month, and a lot of a lot of people on LinkedIn really connected with it, because there are months like that, right? It's the real self. I'm not saying that you should only do trauma dumping on LinkedIn, but yeah, do a mix of things that shows your entire personality. That is how you build a personal brand. Basically, personal branding is a combination of brand and personal. So a brand is, let's say, when you see a brand is defined with its color scheme, logo, style of the brand, the colors, the way the brand talks. I mean, Zomato is very funny. Coca Cola is about collectiveness or friendship. Their messaging is very defined, right? So when you take this and you apply these brand things on yourself, like, and connect them and connect that with your values, experiences, and thinking. That is how you make a personal brand. For example, here Chris is always dressed in loose clothes. He always has a cap on. He always wears black. Mostly he wears black. He always has his specs on. Has a smile on his face. Right. His color scheme is black. His logo. Again, you don't necessarily need to have a logo. I can say his logo is his cap because it's a signature that he has. Style of dressing, loose clothes, very comfortable, very chill. And the way he talks very in a very poised, slow, calm way. So that is because he has done it over a lot of videos, over in a lot of events that he does. His brand is built that way. It will not happen overnight, right? You cannot be like, okay, I will. You cannot pick a way and then talk like that, and then think, okay, this is my way to talk. You start talking, then you realize, okay, this is the pattern that I have, and then you start implementing it again and again and again. You find your style once you start doing things. That is all I wanted to say. So how do you do it?
Sorry to interrupt. Is it recording?
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
um, so how do you do it basically? You share your experiences as stories. You share your failures as lessons. When you share your experiences as stories, you again, you're just sharing your story. This is what happened, this is how I tackled it, this is what I experienced. So while doing this, you um uh, just a second. While doing this, you show your readers that you are a person who has a lot of, you know, who has the style of turning an adversity into something positive. When you share your failures as lessons, you have this idea of not crying over a situation but taking the positives from it and implementing it in your life. You show basically through your post or through your talking or through your personality that why you think a certain way, what you can't tolerate, what things you have learned the hard way. For example, there's a person on LinkedIn, if you have seen post where they say, okay, I like when brands have smaller menus rather than elaborate menus. Okay, that is your perception. I see it, I might not agree with it. But when you share why you like that, then it helps me understand you better. It helps me understand your thinking better, right? I might be ignorant. I would not know ki why is it helping you. But when you share why you think a certain way, that just helps bring that matlab, make that personality of you stronger in the person who is reading your post. You are the CEO of your brand that you're creating. You don't have to, again, as I said, pick a logo. You don't have to pick a logo. Your face is your logo of the personal brand that you're creating. You are the face, you are the voice, you are the BTS lessons, whatever. So just think of you as a person, how you can package it in an authentic way without oversharing, without, you can overshare if that's your personality, but just see how, for example, you are looking for clients online, right? And you want them to work with someone who has uh, you want them to work with you, and you are a person who is very strict about deadlines. You have never missed a deadline in your life. Write a couple of posts about how you have never missed a deadline. So that just kind of, again, you might think that it does not, clearly it's not a post that will attract my clients, but it attracts them to your personality. If they are looking for someone with who follows strict deadlines, then it will definitely attract them. So this is how uh, you can connect certain things, right? I've spoken, I think, a lot, and I have defined what personal branding is, what it is not, how you can present it. I've given examples. We'll get into the frameworks next. Before that, I just want to share this video with you. I'm not sure, just to summarize the whole thing, I'm not sure if you have seen this movie. uh, I'll just shut up for a minute. I'll drink my water, and you just watch this video. And it's a 5-10 second video. So just it's a, I'm not sure if you watched this movie. I know I'm rambling a lot, but it will summarize everything that we have spoken. Right, so basically your blood, sweat and tears, however you have grown as a personality. Whatever he said is my blood is my brand, right? So your blood, sweat and tears, however you have grown, things that have shaped you into the person that you are now, everything combined, including your skills and your personality, which we'll get into in a bit. So everything combined is your brand that you are presenting online. This is the definition of what it is not. Let's quickly look at a framework that we can answer and we can not answer, we can look into and we can implement. It also comes with a couple of questions for you to just make sure to answer it better and to get started with building your personal brand. But this is the framework that I could come up with. There are 5 P's of personal branding. There's purpose, there's proof, there is presence, there's personality, and there's proficiency. We'll get into these 5 P's. Um, but yeah, I have uh, basically summarized things in 5 P's so that it's easier to remember. The first P is purpose. Why? Basically your why do you wake up fired up? Why do you want to build your personal brand? Why is the question. It could be either because you quit your job and you can't afford not being paid, you have to support your family. It could be because you have to save, like you are looking for better opportunities, higher paying jobs, so that you can save and you can start your startup. Maybe you're looking for an early financial independence, maybe you're looking for better opportunities, right? With me, it was that I quit my job. I went into freelancing. I gave myself 2 months. So for me, it was why not? I did not want to go into corporate at all. I wanted this to work no matter what. So I gave it everything I had. I knew people were building their personal brand. I knew that being on LinkedIn was helping a lot of people. I was a stalker on LinkedIn for a year before I started posting. So seeing people's post and seeing people how they presented themselves, how being on LinkedIn has helped them, I knew I had to post on LinkedIn. Meanwhile, I was also updating my portfolio. I was applying on hiring post, whoever was hiring freelancers. I was updating. I created my website then to build my portfolio and things like that. Uh, so that was my reason to not get into corporate job. I had a very strict deadline set for me. I quit my job on April 18th, so I took April kind of to set things up. I gave myself May and June, and I was like, by June 30th, if I do not have a freelancing client, I'm going back to corporate, because I could not also afford being a burden on my parents. I moved back home and it was just not nice. Right? So whatever your reason was, is you just think of it, pick at least one motivating factor that will keep you up at night. And because this is important, because I think, according to me, if your why of doing things is not convincing enough, you will find 100 excuses that are convincing. So let's say I want to start making videos, but I don't have time. If you really want to start making videos, you will find time. For example, uh, I don't want to sound insensitive or something, but let's say your loved one needs 100 videos to save their life somehow. Imagine, right? You have to make 100 videos so that that person's life is saved. Or Ritvik is kidnapped and I have to make 100 videos so that he will be saved. So no matter how busy I am, no matter what I am doing, I will find time to do that, right? Because that is important to me. So just make sure your why is important enough, whatever your why is, and then everything will kind of fall into place. You will find the time, you will find the energy, you will find the motivation. You don't have to wait for anything if your why is very strong. The next P is principles, your non-negotiables. So for me, it's honesty. I'm very honest in my post. I'm very honest in my newsletters, everywhere. I'll talk about a lot about me, because this is kind of a session where I'm also sharing what has worked for me, how I present myself. So just bear with that. It can be kindness, it can be philanthropy, it can be you are helpful, or maybe you are unserious. Your principles, that you will not negotiate on any basis. Like a couple of minutes ago, I was sharing that maybe you're a person for whom deadlines is very important. So you put a couple of posts around deadlines. You think of stories that you can share that reflects, okay, I'm a person who has this principle and who will, no matter what, they will follow it. Right? You just need to pick, to start with at least, you need to pick one virtue, and then you can it will all eventually fall into place. This is important because whenever you're writing your post, again, as I shared the deadline thing, the even if you're sharing a story, the principle, the underlying principle is kind of evident, and you don't know who is reading your post and who connects with you. So that is about purpose and principles. The next P is,
1 second. Is it recording?
yes, sir. Yeah, thank you. um, the next P is proficiency. So proficiency means your skills and your proof. Maybe you are writing blogs and you want to show results, you can show that in numbers, or you can show people enjoy working with you in testimonials, or you can show even a WhatsApp message of a client has praised you, or you can just show, okay, you're good on LinkedIn, you have a couple of viral posts, you can show that as well. Just think of it as the why of the person who wants to work with you. So if a client is thinking why they should work with Nikita, so they should have at least some proof of, okay, the client is thinking Nikita is fun, Nikita writes newsletters, but they do not know what they're getting, right? Out of it, are there any numbers to show? Is she, I can say I'm fun to work with, but if a client says Nikita is fun to work with, that just solidifies the fact, right? So just think of something that makes people want to work or at least interact with you. This is on a professional level. So results, testimonials, viral posts, things like that just shows that, okay, you're good at something. um, the next P is personality. This is very important, as Ritvik also said, showing your personality online. Maybe you're funny, maybe you're quirky, maybe you are lively. Just a quick question for you all: how many of you know that I love cats? Even if I don't own a cat, do you guys know that I love cats? Right, because it's there on my website, it's there on, it's on my literal LinkedIn banner. I'm showing, just showing my personality, okay, that I'm a cat lover. Either it is cheerful or anything it can be. Again, you don't say that you are a funny person, your friends say you are a funny person. So if you're not sure what your personality is, just ask your friends to define your personality. Don't ask really really close friends, because they will say you're a fucker. But when you ask, yeah, friends are like that. But when you ask people whom you interact with daily, and whom, if you ask your friends also to be serious, they can be, but just ask someone and they will tell you with whom you interact on a daily basis, and they will tell you what your personality is. Awesome. I think this, the last P is presence, where you show up and how often you show up. With me, I show, like you saw the first slide of this presentation, I had like seven options because I'm present in seven different places. I am present in your inbox, I'm present on LinkedIn, I show up in community, I show up in events like this, I show up in other people's events. Um, and the, I think the best part is, I don't know if I can call it the best. But I think the common part is I am, uh, like this. Whatever you are seeing throughout. If you are seeing a GIF here, you will see a GIF in my LinkedIn post as well. Will see it in my newsletters as well, right? So just see that whatever, wherever you are presenting yourself, it kind of follows a similar pattern. Again, imagine you have seen my newsletters, it is full of gifs, and you come here and I'm like, hi guys, what's up, this is the personal branding channel, or like things like that. So your perception of me is, okay, Nikita is a lively, cheerful person. But when you come on a session like this, if I'm not like that in real life, your, the whole thing that I built online just shatters. So just make sure it's there, whatever personality you're choosing to present, wherever you're choosing to present, just make sure that it is consistent. To start with, show up at one place and but do it consistently. I started with LinkedIn. I did it for like 6 7 months. Then I started my newsletter. I did it for 3 4 months. Then I started Twitter. So once things are okay and you know this platform how it works, you have understood it. Now I have started doing sessions after 1.5 year, right? Yeah. So just make sure uh, you show up consistently with the consistent personality, whichever platform you're doing it, just do it regularly. Imagine if I send one message in the community and I disappear for a couple of months, then people will forget who Nikita is. But because I show up consistently, try to start conversations or engage in conversations, you guys the know me basically. Right, so these were the 5 P's: uh, purpose, principles, proficiency, personality, and presence. Purpose again is your why, it has to be very important for you. Principles is your non-negotiables that kind of reflect in your post or in your presence. Proficiency is the why of people who want to work with you. So what do you have to offer that somebody would want to work with you? Your personality is your tones or your quirks, or how you want to show yourself. And your presence, where do you show up and how often you show up, right? Just take a quick water break. You can take that this in. Maybe think of what your purpose is in the meanwhile. What's so funny, Ritvik? Anyway, um, to give examples to really solidify this principles in your head, I'll do a breakdown of my profile and my post so that you see how to implement it. Okay, you have seen the definition, you have seen a video that your blood is your brand, you have seen the 5 P's, but how do you implement it? We'll quickly do a breakdown of my profile. Again, this is based on whatever your perception you shared here, right? Passionate, fun loving, strong headed, newsletters again, um, resilient, ideas generator, and things like that, right? Uh, yeah, so when you see my banner is very unserious. It's not like I will 5x your growth or something like that, because I do not, according to me, every client is different and I cannot promise the same growth I gave to one client to another client, even if they're in the same niche, right? So if you can do that and if you feel that, feel free to add it in your banner. But since I don't feel that, I have just made it a little chill, because I'm a chill person. So chill banner, I've just said I love cats. I've added a quick small note here that this cat is not mine. um, this section here could be the reason you have called me passionate, because I've shown 3 different things and I've called passion projects. Even if you don't know what these are, you can just conclude from here that okay, she has a couple of passion projects, she might be a passionate person. From here, I've not given writing very importance on my banner, I've just given importance to my personal passion projects. And oh yes, and I love cats and I love writing too. For that, you can go and visit my profile and you can see even my DP is cheerful. I have sunflowers in the background. I have a huge smile on my face. So it just kind of shows that okay, it's a cheerful, a little unserious, but still passionate personality. In my headline, I've written, I may have a thing for newsletters. So this could be the reason you guys have mentioned the newsletter girl. But I've also written, I've not written that I write newsletters for so and so brands. But I've written I write B2B SaaS. I write long form content for B2B SaaS, because newsletters is kind of fun for me. B2B content is serious, so this is how I chose to present myself. This link here, you can customize it. Most of the time, it's to my website to contact me for work, but sometimes when I post a valuable post online or in my newsletter, I just add it here and do a slightly unserious uh, anchor text here, right? Then you scroll down and you go to my featured section. My featured section, the first post is I've shared my LinkedIn analytics. It has shown 100k 40k reach, right? So the first featured post itself shows skills. The second featured post is a post that 1,000 of you found funny. It's about writers, so you can kind of you can see that it's a funny post, so Nikita is a funny person, or it also shows that I'm a writer, and it also shows my personality, right? So I've shown my skill, I have shown my personality, I've shown my this post is a freelancing journey that I quit my job on April 18th. The first line came like this. So I'm showing my journey, but I'm also showing it very raw. That I only gave my 2 months. I was not sure what I was doing. It's very raw. It's not all fun and roses. So yeah, it shows again that I am an honest person to whoever visits my profile. The next featured post is I got how much I got paid. I'm very honest with my earnings online. In my newsletters, you see every now every once in a while I'll share how much I made. I've also done that in a LinkedIn post. So this shows that I'm a transparent person and I don't gatekeep and things like that. The other thing is resources. Whatever has worked for me, I just share with you guys. It shows that I'm helpful. So even like my banner is showing she's a passionate cheerful person. My DP is also saying that. My featured section is showing my skills, it's showing my personality, it's showing my honesty. I think again honesty and funny and helpful, all of this comes under personality, but it shows different aspects of my personality. And people who really want to work with me and they want to see what kind of work she does, they can just scroll down and they can see here. So I am a lead newsletter writer at Need Prompts. Need Prompts has 100k readers, so it shows that okay, Nikita has skills, that is why she is the lead newsletter writer here. These are my passion projects that I was talking about in my banner. This is my website again in my banner, and things like that. So again, not really going into the 16 experiences that I have, but just sharing the important stuff. So whoever comes here, they see okay, Nikita also has writer skills. I do not have any testimonials. If you have it, add it to your profile. That is really great. I don't know why I suck at asking for testimonials. I have never asked for a testimonial. I think I should do it now. But yeah, so if you have testimonials, show that. uh, if you don't have, just show any WhatsApp screenshot of a client uh, praise would also do, right? So this is how you optimize your profile to reflect your 5 P's that we have spoken about. Those 5 P's should also reflect in your post, because if you don't post about it, how can you add it in your featured section? So because I had posted about these and these posted well, and I wanted people to see these posts, so I've added them in the featured section. If I do a breakdown of my, okay, I'll do a breakdown of my post, but before that, uh, how do you do this? Basically, is step one is to answer your 5 P's, um, the 5 P's that we have discussed. Step two is to optimize your profile. Example, just you saw the example just now. Step three is write the posts that reflect your piece. As just now I was speaking, if you write those posts you can add it in a featured section, and then your profile will be uh, pretty much optimized. So once you have a couple of posts that shows your personality or a couple of posts that do well, you add those posts in a featured section. And but you and you, when you do that, you do that consistently. It's not like you have done 5 posts, you have added 5 posts in a featured section and you have disappeared. Just make time at least for one post a week and you are good to go, I would say. A quick breakdown of my post. So what I did was, I from January to June, I took my top 20 posts from each month, and from that 120 post, I think, I took the top 70 post and I did an analysis of it, right? What was the hook, what was the engagement, how many followers I got that month, and all of those things. So from my top 70 posts, I could find these main categories of posts that could come up. I was posting a lot about. If you're not sure what the category of post is, I have spoken about it in the previous session of how to write LinkedIn post. So you can, I'll just share the link with you after this session, and you can just watch that. Just to give you a quick recap so that this slide makes sense. Um, this is a slide from the previous presentation. So let's say if you're talking about a time you tripped and fell, it can be a funny post. Or let's say you are sharing a recent realization you had about yourself, it can be a personal story. Or a time a client appreciated you, it can be a client story. So these are different kinds of post: a lesson post, reflection post, funny post. um, it can be a carousel, that is a type of post, but yeah, it can be an emotional post. You're reflecting on how much you have grown, you're reflecting what your story is, what your journey is. So these are the types of only talking about clients, so that can be an ICP post, right? ICP is ideal client profile. So if you're attracting your client to see your work, then you write ICP post. So with me, I shared like 36% of my posts are personal stories and journey. Journey as in I quit my job, I'm doing freelancing, I'm on a $5,000 per month challenge. Personal story is I cried in front of my manager, or I how when I told my mom when I have quit my job, how she reacted. So things like that, I shared this a lot, and majority of my posts are personal journey posts. I also share work and results. So I talk about newsletters in my post. That is why you call me the newsletter girl, right? So I talk about my projects. I also talk about my client experience or the money I'm making. All of these are summarized into work and results. I also post funny posts on LinkedIn. I know it's not generally the norm to post funny content, but to be to bring that relatability, at least we do like funny posts, or just make sure that people find you relevant. See, 20 almost 21% of my posts are funny. um, I also enjoy writing this post, so it just reflects again my personality. I also do a lot of not a lot, but some posts are teaching and observation. So if I'm writing a blog, I'll share my process. If an editor has shared a feedback with me, I will share that feedback with you all. I'll share some tips to improve your writing. So all of these comes under teaching and insights. And again, ICP post are when I'm telling, are you not doing blogs, you should be doing blogs because of this. So in teaching, it's to peers; to ICP, it's to attract clients. Again, you don't have to be expert. Like, you cannot be like, okay, I'm not an expert, I'm just a beginner, I cannot share. Until and unless I'm an expert, I cannot share my learnings, right? You can share even if you say that uh, 5 ways to replace an M dash. I'm 100% sure that there are 100 people who don't know how to replace an M dash. So you can just write a post about it and it will do good, I would, right? um yes, Astha.
Um, which of these have performed the best according to you? Like which category? This is the quality, but like
uh,
if you rate them performance wise.
mhm. Yeah, so these are my top uh, 70 posts performance wise, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Whichever had the most engagement, I took, I sorted them from highest to lowest, and then I took top 70. And still, like, ICP post also did well out of 120. Even the teaching post also did well, but I think the most well received posts have been funny posts and personal journey posts, because all these two are relatable, so a lot of people interact with it. That is, if I
Got it.
can just summarize which do the really the best, so these two will be the ones. um awesome. So just to tie these categories, trust me, we are just ending this is over. Not boring you anymore. uh yeah, so these were the 5 P's that we talked about. These were the categories of my post that we talked about. You see, every type of post, every category of post that I am doing, is representing the 5 P's that we had discussed. Um, my personal journey post reflect my reason. Okay, I quit my job. I do not want to go back to corporate. They reflect the purpose. My teaching and insights post show my principles. Okay, Nikita is honest. She is sharing her feedback. My work and results show my proficiency. I have these skills. I have reached these numbers. So this is my proficiency. My fun and sarcastic posts show my personality. Since I'm talking about blogs, I'm talking about newsletters, I talk about projects, I talk about community, and I show up on all of these platforms. um, it shows my presence online, right? So it's pretty simple. If I can just go back here, you answer the 5 P's, you optimize your profile that reflecting your 5 P's. You can skip a P or two if you want, if you want to simplify it more. But the overall, if you see personal branding as a thing, then you can ideally do all P's. Then you write the posts, then you add those posts in your feature section so that people who visit your profile, they see those posts, and then you show up consistently. Again, personal branding, I would just like to conclude maybe by saying that personal branding is not sure that it will get you clients. If you're looking for clients, you post a lot of posts that will attract clients, but you also do not ignore the other aspects of these 5 P's. When I started, I was looking for clients, but I was not only like, okay, I need clients, I need clients, I'm not doing that. I was also kind of having fun with LinkedIn. I do not want it to be very serious. um, so all of these kind of just tied together. It was not a plan. When I started a year and a half back, I did not define my 5 P's, but eventually it just happened, and now it just makes sense. With you, it's kind of easier because they have seen, okay, it has worked for Nikita, it can work for me. I have given you examples, I've given you the 5 P's. You can just answer these questions and just be mindful about when you're posting, like how the reader will react. Are they getting something of value, or is it relatable? And I think we are good to go. If you guys want, we can do we can check your, okay, we have a quick task as well, sorry. Yeah, just a quick task for you. Just answer these questions to yourself, you don't have to share it with us. Something that you want to be known for. um, pe- Something that people ask your help with, and 3 adjectives you think your friends might use it for you. If you answer these, it will be easier for you to answer those 5 P's. So just add it, very simple question, right? Something I want to be known for, I'm not sure, but maybe a helpful person is what I can think of. People ask me help with such sessions, personal branding, how are you doing, how to get clients, freelancing mostly. 3 adjectives my friends define me. I did ask my friends, and they said I'm lively. They said I am. They use big words. I do not know the meaning, so I'm just thinking of क्या था meaning. They use the word tenacious, vivacious. I don't know the pronunciation. And another friend called me a fucker, so I'll just ignore that. Um, yeah, just answer these questions to yourself, and you are good to go, and you can just look back at the 5 P's. It will be easier for you to answer. If you guys want, we can stop here. If you guys want, we can look at one of your LinkedIn profiles and just go through it. About, we can just do a breakdown of what you can improve, but we can only do it once you answer your 5 P's. So it won't make a lot of sense if you're just doing it. I can, in 2 minutes, I will just walk you through another LinkedIn, uh, just a second, profile that I love. Not sure how many of you know Brinda, but she writes, again, long form content in the e-commerce space, right? Um, her banner says, "I give a fuck, so you don't have to." It's very unserious, right? Nobody says fuck so easily on LinkedIn. But her personality is kind of edgy but also fun. So this is fun. Sorry, the headline is edgy. Her picture is fun. She has added. She has amazing bylines on all of these websites. So she has added that. Even her profile picture shows her personality, and she's very edgy also in the profile picture. Then she has shared that she is a freelance content writer, and these are the companies she has bylines on. Again, she has not shared work with me or anything. It's very casual, unserious. That hi, here's me. Her posts, I think, can be easily categorized into two um, categories. One is one is a lot of testimonials. The other is a lot of memes. So this is a very serious post. This is a funny post. Again, she does a funny, relatable post. Again, she has a testimonial here. She also shares what has worked for her, so how to get violence and things like that. So she's also teaching, but mostly her posts are fun. This again is a funny post. This is sharing her work and then sharing memes and things like that. In her feature section also, she has a very great testimonial. Then she has her website. Then she has another work, right? So it shows that okay, she has done a very detailed 20,000 word case study thing with so and so person, and that so and so person has shared this. But she also shows her personality, and she's not afraid to say fuck in a LinkedIn post. So I think this is a really good profile example that I thought of sharing with you guys. Awesome. I'll just stop sharing, and if you guys have any questions, we can take that. If you want me to go back to any slides, we can do that as well. I'll just stop recording the session, and we can get started with the Q&A if you guys have any questions.